Why do I always feel like I don't have enough time? How do some people manage to do a million things at once? Isn't there a way to slow down time? Do these questions sound familiar? Don't worry, you're not alone. I was there and I promise to give you a solution. It's easy to feel overwhelmed and like there's just not enough time to accomplish everything you want to do. There are 5 key reasons that lead to this feeling. Trying to do too much at a time, not having clear priorities, you keep putting things off, your smartphone and the internet, and unrealistic expectations. So now you know the why, let's get to the how. There are like a million books and articles on time management, but
ain't nobody got time for that.
Here's the best advice I can give you after reading and trying almost everything on the topic for almost 10 years. Number 1, Atomic Habits. This book basically teaches that small adjustments can lead to massive improvements. That doing things just 1% better every day can change your life in a year. 30 times better to be exact. Now imagine, in a year, 30 times better health, 30 times better business. This sounds great, doesn't it? An example would be, instead of thinking about having chiseled abs, just concentrate on having a better lifestyle every day. Every day, try to exercise a little bit more. Try to eat a little bit cleaner, and you will have your six-pack in no time. The book teaches how habits are created. There are 4 stages: the cue, the craving, the response, and the reward. Let's take me and this channel to give you an example and to illustrate. I feel like planning, recording, and editing takes a lot of time, so I feel overwhelmed. That's my cue. I now feel the need to feel relaxed. That's my craving. I take out my phone. That's my response. And now for a few minutes or a few hours, I forget that I have so much to do. That's my reward. If this happens often, this becomes a habit. But now, knowing this process, you can use it to your advantage. You can use what this book calls habit stacking. Basically using an old bad habit to create a new one. During COVID time, I gained a substantial amount of weight due to quarantine. I needed to stop binging on anime and TV shows. In this time, I was reading Atomic Habits for the first time and decided to use an anime to my advantage. Instead of trying to fight the urge to watch another episode of Bakihama, I only allowed myself to watch it while I was on the bike. To make a long story short, I recall burning over 1500 calories in one session, just because I didn't want to stop watching the show. Ever since, I must say, this has become my secret weapon to create new habits. Each time I find a new anime to watch or a new season comes out, I try to couple it with something productive, and it just makes everything so much fun. Número 2. Deep work. Like the title suggests, this book explains how deep work works.
You don't say.
The book distinguishes between deep work and shallow work. Deep work involves intense concentration and produces high-quality results. Shallow work is often more routine and less impactful. It states that in order to be really productive, we have to make more deep work. There are 3 things that I took out of this book that really helped me become more productive. Number 1, disconnect once or twice a year from all social media. You can do it for a week, you can do it for a month. I have done both. It has helped me be more present with my loved ones and made me not compare myself too much to others. It has also become the time where I try to rethink my goals and where I take the necessary steps to adjust my life. Number 2, become hard to reach. This one I needed so much. In order to protect your deep work time, you need to reduce your availability. It's okay to put your phone on Do Not Disturb. It's perfectly okay to say no to your friends and family. It is important to have time for you, for your deep work, time where you put yourself in a position to become the best version of yourself. Number 3, schedule deep work sessions. Since reading this book, I allocate specific time blocks for deep work. Basically, my phone tells me it's deep work time and I get going. This has helped me tremendously to get the important things done. And speaking of getting things done, this is number 3 on my list. Getting things done, the art of stress-free productivity. In this book, you learn that your brain is here to create ideas, not to hold them. So it's really important to have a system to unload your brain. The process suggested by this book has 5 steps: capture, process, organize, review, engage. Capture everything you think you need to do on a notebook, on your phone, on your computer, it doesn't matter. The important thing is that you have it somewhere and don't need to try to save it in here. Then you have to ask the important question. Is it actionable? Or in other words, is this worth my attention and my time? If yes, there are two outcomes. If it takes less than 2 minutes to do it right now. If it takes longer, you need to put it on your schedule. If it's not actionable, discard it or keep it as a reference. Now you have all action, it's time to organize them. And the most important takeaway I got from the book, it's that it's best to group everything together that can be grouped. For example, if you have 5 things that must be done on a computer, group them together so you can be more efficient. Once a week, take the time to review your calendar and or to-do list, obviously to see if something can be optimized and maybe to add new things. And the last step is to simply engage. Start ticking everything off, just do your work. And if along the way a new idea comes through your mind, you know exactly what to do with it. The next entry is a book that really transformed my life. You might know it, it's called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I first got this book when I was 15. It was one of the first books that I bought with my own money. It covers more than just time management, but the first 3 principles in particular really helped me optimize how I use my time. Habit number 1 is be proactive. You can and have to control your actions and reactions. Recognize that your behavior is a product of your choices and not your conditions. It teaches me that I need to focus on what I can influence. Habit number 2 is begin with the end in mind. It teaches the importance of defining clear personal and professional goals. In order to be the person that you really want to be, you need a clear sense of direction and purpose. It's just so much easier to say no to something when you clearly know what you want. If you don't have this habit, you won't be able to prioritize the things that are really important. Talking about that, the 3rd habit is put first things first. Like the title of the chapter suggests, it talks about how important it is to prioritize the things that are important. Honestly, just give this book a try. Buy the book or buy the audiobook. You'll get so much out of it. Finally, I want to talk about the 80-20 principle by Richard Koch. It explores the concept of the Pareto principle. A small percentage of your input, 20%, often generates a large percentage of your output, 80%. So by really focusing on this 20% on the tasks that are most important, on your deep work, you can get 80% of the results. Funny enough, thanks to this book, I work less and earn more. Since applying this principle to my life, I work 25 hours a week and I'm making more money than when I was working close to 60. I really hope this video gave you some ideas on how you can solve your problem. Just remember that we all have the same 24 hours in a day. Just learn these concepts and I promise you that you will start to manage your time better and to feel more productive. Have a nice day and I recommend you to watch this video next.